Jody, you're okay with being recorded?
Yes, there we go. So I don't ramble on and on, which I have a tendency to do. But first of all, I've missed you girls. I have been absent for the last couple of weeks. I've been on antibiotics for the last week, and my jaw is still killing me. So I have a feeling I'm going to probably have to get this tooth pulled, but we'll see what the dentist says. But anyway, if you want to continue to pray about that. So I am going to be talking about surprise, my dad, and how that is affecting my life and not in a good way. And I'm actually quite embarrassed about how this has been affecting my life. I really did not think that I would be as I didn't think it would be as difficult as it is. Because I mean, before he passed, he was praying that he would be, taken home. He was ready to go home, and we were, ready for him to go home, and because he was suffering and all that. And but I mean, like the year before he passed, actually, every time I talked about it, I would start crying, and so I knew it was going to be difficult, but I really had no idea it was going to be as difficult as I've been having. And this week was 20 weeks since he died. And what happened, there was a couple of things that kind of triggered a little bit of a breakdown for me. I had to go to the doctors this week, and I had to update all my personal information. And I've been going to this doctor for like, oh, probably 15, 16 years. And so when I started going to him, I had to fill out, all my information, and I put my emergency contact information as my dad. And so I had to update that. And, I was going through the editing of the computer information, and it said, contact, emergency contact, Stan father, and phone number and everything. I could not remove it. I just couldn't. I know that sounds silly, but I was like, I felt like it was kind of erasing him from my life. And I'm like, I couldn't do it. And I had a little bit of a breakdown. There was a couple other things that happened. And I had a little breakdown this week. And because I hadn't been here in a couple of weeks, I really started missing you guys. And I wanted you guys really bad. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start reaching out, and I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to go down. And so I left China a message, which I was fine when I started talking. I went on WhatsApp to the personal messages, and I was like, "Hey, Chai, I just really am missing you guys, so I'm just leaving you a message." And by the end of the message, I was bawling, and I'm like, "Okay, I am not going to be reaching out to these girls, because I'm sure that by the end of it, China probably thought, okay, this girl is probably needs to be committed." And so I'm like, this is probably not the best time to be reaching out to everybody. And but during that phone call, a couple of things happened, and I'm sure that is probably why the Lord had me reach out to Chai. And it's because while I was actually talking, leaving a message for China, I said a couple of things, and it kind of brought back some things I remembered China saying in a Jesus journey that she had said. It just brought back a memory. It was like a flashback. But in the message I left for her, I said, I've never been in this kind of deep pain before. And it sparked a memory of her saying that in one of her Jesus journeys once, and she had been talking to Casey about, she said, that she had been calling Casey about something painful she was going through, and she had said that to Casey, and Casey said to her, "You know this is a stronghold, don't you? This is a stronghold." And actually, while I was leaving that message for Chai, um, that those words came back to me, and it was like it kind of was like well, it was a God moment. And I after I stopped recording the message to China, I was like, okay, this is a stronghold, and my dad would actually be very sad right now if he saw me this way, you know. And so I gathered my thoughts, and instead of calling all of you and bringing you all down, which I feel like I've kind of been doing a lot of, um, I just I just had some time with the Lord, but I made a breakthrough, and I have made a determination that I'm not going to self-isolate anymore. And um, I don't know why this is so painful. My dad, he was the one person in the world that I knew really loved me. I never had a husband that did. I never, um, it just, he was the one person that I felt safe with. And I have not felt safe, like I've had somebody that has had my back that I could go to, you know, but the Lord keeps telling me, or like I said, after that conversation, he's like, I've got your back. I'm the one you should feel safe with. I'm your rock. Your dad was a good dad, but he's gone now. I am your father. I am the one you need to turn to. So I kind of made a breakthrough this week, and it's been a painful one, but this is the hardest journey I've ever been on. And like I said, I did not know that losing my dad would be such a hard journey for me. I really didn't, because I'm like, I know he's in heaven, and I mean, I know that I'll see him again and stuff, but um, my dad and I were so close, and I miss him so much. It's just been so hard. And I love you girls, and you've been so great in reaching out to me. And I seriously don't know what I would have done the last, 20 weeks without you. And, and, you know, the hole I've tried to crawl into and self-isolate, you guys have not let me, and you keep trying to pull me out. And I'm so thankful for that, because I think without you guys, I probably would have, just, uh, allowed myself to kind of crawl in that hole. And so then I kind of, after I left my first crying message to Chai, then I left another message for her, and I said, um, after my first husband, when he had cheated on me, I kind of went through that whole mental break thing. And my doctor told me, he said, once you kind of hit this kind of traumatic, when you go through something this traumatic, it's very easy to get to that place again. He said, the rest of your life, you'll have to be careful not to go, to that deep traumatic place again. And that go down that dark despair. And it's something I've kind of watched all my life, and I've never gotten to that point again. But this has been a true test of, like, yeah, I have felt myself kind of slipping into that despair. And but anyway, I kind of feel like I'm breaking out of it, and I know there's steps to grief and stuff, and this has been tough, and but I think I'm learning a lot through it. And So I just want to thank you for your patience and your love, and there's my timer. So I guess I've rambled on long enough. But anyway, I love you girls and thank you for your patience. And I feel like I've a broken record, and I'm like I said, I'm almost a little embarrassed to talk anymore because I feel like I'm like they're probably thinking, get on with it already, girl. You're an old lady, you should be over this already. And so I I get a little embarrassed, that I am having such a difficult time. But I mean, when I see my grandkids and I spend time with my kids and stuff, everything is wonderful. But at the end of the day, I come back to an empty apartment. I don't have a husband, which I mean, usually, I mean, it's fine and stuff, but there are just some times that I just feel very alone. And the Lord is working with me on that. But anyway, thank you for your prayers and for your love. And I love you, and thank you for letting me talk. And so that's where I'm at. I'm breaking through.